Today, our topic is why Stoics practiced silence. The Stoics were ancient philosophers who believed in living a life of virtue, self-control, and inner peace. They were known for their wisdom and practical advice on how to handle life's challenges. One of the key practices of the Stoics was silence. But why did they value silence so much? Let's explore this idea and see how it can help us in our own lives. First, silence was a way for the Stoics to avoid saying things they might regret. They believed that words have power, and that speaking without thinking can lead to problems. When we talk too much, we might say things that hurt others or make situations worse. The Stoics knew that once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. Silence, on the other hand, gives us time to think before we speak. It helps us avoid unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. Imagine a situation where someone says something that makes you angry. If you react immediately, you might say something harsh or mean. But if you stay silent for a moment, you can calm down and respond in a more thoughtful way. This is what the Stoics taught: silence is a tool for self-control. Second, silence was a way for the Stoics to focus on what truly matters. In our modern world, we are surrounded by noisy social media, news, conversations, and endless distractions. It's easy to get caught up in all of this and lose sight of what is important. The Stoics believed that silence helps us cut through the noise and focus on our inner thoughts. By being silent, we can reflect on our values, our goals, and our actions. We can ask ourselves questions like, am I living in line with my principles? Or what can I do to improve myself? Silence allows us to connect with our true selves and make better decisions. Third, silence was a way for the Stoics to practice humility. They believed that talking too much, especially about yourself, can lead to arrogance. When we constantly talk about our achievements or opinions, we might start to think too highly of ourselves. The Stoics taught that it's better to listen more and talk less. By being silent, we show respect for others and give them a chance to share their thoughts. This helps us stay humble and open to learning from others. Silence reminds us that we don't have all the answers and that there is always more to learn. Fourth, silence was a way for the Stoics to find peace in difficult situations. Life is full of challenge, loss, failure, disappointment, and pain. The Stoics believe that silence can help us face these challenges with strength and calmness. When something bad happens, our first reaction might be to complain or blame others. But the Stoics taught that silence is a better response. Instead of wasting energy on complaints, we can use that energy to focus on solutions. Silence helps us accept what we cannot change and find the courage to move forward. It is a way to stay grounded and resilient, even in the face of adversity. Fifth, silence was a way for the Stoics to connect with nature and the universe. They believe that everything in the world is interconnected and that we are part of a larger whole. By being silent, we can tune into the natural rhythms of life: the sound of the wind, the rustling of leaves, the flow of water. This helps us feel more connected to the world around us and reminds us of our place in it. Silence can also be a form of meditation, where we let go of our thoughts and simply exist in the present moment. This practice brings a sense of peace and clarity, helping us see the bigger picture. Now that we've explored why the Stoics practiced silence, let's think about how we can apply this wisdom to our own lives. In today's fast-paced world, silence is often overlooked. We are so busy talking, texting, and scrolling that we forget the value of quiet moments. But silence is not just the absence of noise, it is a powerful tool for self-improvement and inner peace. Here are some practical ways to incorporate Stoic silence into your daily life. First, start your day with a few minutes of silence. When you wake up, instead of reaching for your phone or turning on the TV, take a moment to sit quietly. Close your eyes, take deep breaths, and let your mind settle. Use this time to set your intentions for the day and remind yourself of your values. This simple practice can help you start the day with a calm and focused mindset. Second, Practice silence in conversations. When someone is speaking, resist the urge to interrupt or think about what you're going to say next. Instead, truly listen to them. Pay attention to their words, their tone, and their emotions. This not only shows respect, but also helps you understand them better. You might be surprised by how much you can learn when you stop talking and start listening. Third, use silence as a way to manage your emotions. When you feel angry, frustrated, or upset, take a moment to pause before reacting. Count to 10, take deep breaths, or step away from the situation if needed. Silence gives you the space to calm down and think clearly. It prevents you from saying or doing something you might regret later. Fourth, create quiet spaces in your life. Find a place where you can be alone and free from distractions: a park, a quiet room, or even your car. Spend time in these spaces without any devices or noise. Use this time to reflect, meditate, or simply enjoy the stillness. These moments of silence can recharge your mind and help you feel more balanced. Fifth, embrace silence as a form of self-discipline. The Stoics believed that self-control is one of the most important virtues. By practicing silence, you strengthen your ability to control your thoughts and actions. This can have a positive impact on other areas of your life, such as your relationships, work, and personal goals. Finally, remember that silence is not about avoiding communication or shutting people out. It is about choosing your words carefully and speaking with purpose. The Stoics were not against talking, they were against meaningless chatter. They believed that every word should have value and contribute to a meaningful conversation. So, when you do speak, make sure your words are thoughtful, kind, and honest. In conclusion, the Stoics practiced silence because they understood its many benefits. Silence helps us think before we speak, focus on what truly matters, stay humble, find peace in difficult situations, and connect with the world around us. By incorporating Stoic silence into our own lives, we can become more self-aware, resilient, and grounded. So, the next time you feel the urge to fill the air with words, take a moment to pause. Embrace the power of silence and see how it can transform your life